Well, hey, look what we haven't done in like forever. It's a commentary. I should explain a little bit. I realized that Disney versus Marvel released a round before animated video, animated versus video game villains did their round 12, but Disney versus Marvel has more. So I think I'm gonna get this one out of the way so that when I do get around to Disney versus Marvel, I can just kind of marathon that. So we're gonna talk Round 12, Part 1 of Animated versus Video Game Villains today. Is my volume? Oh, my volume needed to be way up. Let's dive right into it. Stormella and Mock are having a little chat over a beer. Sean Hughes decided to climb a tree. It's just what you do. Okay, admittedly, I love like all of Seymour's music that has ever happened in Final Fantasy X, and this theme is no exception.
If you command it, I must obey.
So yeah, that technically makes you a villain now, Meta Knight.
And as an added bonus, I'll throw in 2 weapons for free. Okay!
I mean, who wouldn't go in for that?
There. That should do it.
Count Nefarious is making some rather nefarious plans.
Who's that?
That one was too easy. He's actually getting me a little more interested in Toonstruck because, you know, he's Tim Curry, and when a villain turns up and he's Tim Curry, I'm automatically interested.
Welcome to the team. Excellent.
So we start out with Fritz's mission to eliminate the Fearsome Five. And they start with Bushroot.
Oh, no, not him again!
Which... my god, why? That was my first reaction when this battle started. I mean... I know there's Draco Leatherpants and all, but... Reginald Bushroot is freaking adorable. The poor guy just wants to be loved. Why can't you leave him alone? Now the rest of the 5, they've done crap, you know? They could deserve to die. And we'll get to that a little later. But, you know, sending a crazy chainsaw murderer to attack Bushroot, that's just cruel. Luckily for us, Bushroot's kind of immortal. And I am very happy that the adorable one does not die. Frollo dispatches the huntsman to take care of a guy who knows his job, and it's Chapati Hati! Dudes, I'm sorry. Ever since Lindman showed me the freaking Lord Raptor rap, I just can't. I can't even. And like, we can't get over the fact that he's played by Scott McNeil, and then over in Stormhawks he voices Repton, Lord of the Raptors. So basically, yeah. Rose is kicking major butt here. It's only fitting, you know. Because she's awesome. Oh, but the house is about to be brought down! Which means, Lord Raptor, you basically did yourself in. The house fell on you. The huntsman got away. So here we have Carver versus, Alistair Azimuth. I hope I am pronouncing that last one correctly.
Is something wrong? That depends entirely on your point of view. Long live Cyclones.
I actually find Carver one of the weakest, if not the weakest, Stormhawks villain of them all. I mean, I hate Repton, but at least he left an impression on me. Carver I just kind of forget about. until he like randomly shows up in his Reformation episode, and then I'm like, oh yeah, you. Yeah, I don't believe you actually reformed, and I'm right. Alistair right here, on the other hand, is somewhat of an anti-hero. I don't know, I'm not really familiar with his mythos. So when Carver takes the Aurora Stone down, he just wants to put the Aurora Stone back, set things right. Go, Alistair. We like you. Okay, now here we have the Battle of the Grid. I found this footage. This is Half-Life footage of a transporter. Kirby is sometimes goes by Freeman now. Kirby's like, could you find anyone out there, find me a teleporter footage?
Insignificant user! In that case, I shall simply make everything mine.
Shots fired. He's like, somebody find me a teleporter footage. I'm like, oh, I know you can use the resonance cascade, which I don't know about from Half-Life itself. I knew about that because I used to watch Freeman's Mind. Whatever happened in that series? Anyway, here we see what happened when Pete got beamed in. He became Petatron. So Mateus is trying to take over, basically cyberspace, but the MCP is standing in his way. And we got Seymour's really boss battle music going on here. Like I said, all the Seymour music is great. Like, this is my favorite piece from 10. And you know, Maddie brought along Ject here, and Ject actually gets to do one of the coolest things. Like, I totally had a major squee over this as an FF10 fan. I forget what this thing is. It's obviously on the Disney side. Yes, it's proving a little bit too powerful, so Maddie is giving Ject a boost, and here it comes! Here it comes! Here it comes! It's the final Aeon! Do you know how many weeks I spent trying to kill that thing on my first playthrough? I have so much respect for the final Aeon because it's one of the bosses I have had the most difficulty with in my entire years of gaming. Yeah, so now we have superpowered Sarth versus the final Aeon, which is really no contest because, come on, final Aeon. See, Sarth goes down way easily. And Petatron's like, I'm still in the game. So he calls in this Heartless. I went to great pains to memorize the names of all the Heartless from KH1, but then in 2, like, I just didn't put in the effort to memorizing an entire journal's worth of enemies, so I forget what that Heartless is called. I just know it's the Heartless from Space Paranoids. Finally, Aeon also takes that out with ease. And this other monster that I couldn't recognize. Yeah, you should be proud, Maddie. Final Aeon's a thing of beauty. He also throws one of his little energy orbs. I love how when Maddie fights, basically he draws stuff in the air. And he's got a crystal. Crystals are always plot relevant. And thus ends the MCP.
You should have disposed of your fantasy.
Okay, I apologize. I got a little bit interrupted and I accidentally closed my screen recorder. So we're going to try to pick back up seamlessly, except there's this giant seam here. Yes, the MCP goes down.
You should have disposed of your fantasy and accepted me as master.
I think you've proven your worth, Maddie. And the Petatron gets sent out. Altogether, I really liked this as a battle royale. That was a really clever way to pull everything together in cyberspace, utilizing the MCP and the Petatron, and also, you know, Final Aeon. And Pete gets transported home to his shower. What bad luck. And so, we've got here is the appearance of Hexadecimal and Megabyte from Reboot. Now Pete wakes up to find himself in a questionable situation.
Did I wake you?
Let me out, ugly, or I'll...
Silence! That's Count Nefarious to you, little man. Master of the Malevolence, and soon supreme ruler of the world. So
Dear gods, that man's voice. I'm talking about Tim Curry
lovely,
here.
isn't it? It contains a little cocktail of my own invention. I suppose in layman's terms, it could be described as a mutagen.
You're not gonna shoot me for that stuff.
Bravo.
I love this part.
For once, you're absolutely
You're
right.
right.
I'm
not
going to.
to.
I'm already.
Yes! That's enough to make me like this guy.
Sorry, I can't help but find it all rather amusing. Oh, yes, I know. I can be such a terrible prick.
And that line just sells it. I'm like, okay, you know, I didn't know Count Nefarious before this, but I like him now. Tim Curry. Horrible bad innuendo puns. We're good. And Pete is now supersized Pete, which should make for some fun. I'll see you in the other half of round 12, eventually.